From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's the T-Birds Coaches Show, bringing you game breakdowns, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. Here's your host, Tom Myler.
Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome to a very special episode of the Casper College Coach Show because we've got Coach Dwight Canary. He always makes it special. We love having you, Coach. But this time, we get to talk about you winning, and we're going to talk about a national tournament. So, of course, it's going to be special. Let's talk about it. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. And special is just a word that probably doesn't even describe it. It's beyond special. Really, really proud of what the team accomplished last weekend in Scottsbluff, and it certainly means a lot, and I couldn't be any prouder.
I mean, 3 wins, 3 solid wins. I think, at least with the championship game, you only trailed once when they went on a 4-0 run early.
To start the game.
And then you just kept going from there.
It was a pretty solid. It didn't feel like it as things were transpiring throughout, but I don't think we ever trailed after the first quarter in any of the games. And the Western Wyoming, you're right, they got off to that 4-0 start, and I don't think they scored the rest of that quarter, and we held them to 14 points total in the first half. So it was just a fun weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I think even with the Western Wyoming game, I think most, like their first 10 points, 7 or 8 of them came off of free throws.
Yes.
And it's just like, I mean, that was just lockdown defense. They couldn't get a good shot. And just, I mean, it was fun to watch because, we won.
It was a very, and it's kind of, we've talked off mic here, kind of our identity all year is, we got to do it on the defensive and rebounding side. And we put 3 very good games together. We held up. We opened up with NJC. We held them 18 points under their season average. And then Gillette on Friday night, we held them to 25 points under their season average. And then Western Wyoming in the championship, 18 points again under their season average. So just a really nice defensive, consistent effort.
Yep. And so defense has been great. The first 2 games, NJC and against Gillette, I'm going to say it, not to be mean, but we're going to say it.
What it is.
The shooting percentage was definitely down.
Yes.
And then you mentioned it too, that, 0 for 17, I believe.
From
beyond the arc.
I think we finished 1 for 24, and we were deep into the volume there before we finally made one, but you're right. And there was a lot of good looks, ball in and out. It's shooting, and we've kind of dealt with that all year. And that the beauty is our kids just kept shooting.
Yeah.
They didn't get affected by it. You still got to take those shots, and hopefully they go in. So you weather those storms, and hopefully the next day or later in that game it improves.
And you were right about the next game. So NJC Gillette, a little bit lower average, didn't quite get you had the looks, you had the shots, just they didn't fall. But against Western, they definitely popped back up above 40%. I think 30% roughly might have been for your 3-pointers.
I think 36, 30, you're right around there, 34 to 36%.
A little bit better of that average of what we want. And, obviously your defense was still doing great, so it's like you didn't have to worry about that.
If we can put the 2 together, the defensive effort and the shooting, especially, and when we talk shooting, a lot of it's the 3-point line. And, I'm not discouraged by it because I've seen it, in games, but I've also seen it in practice. I know we're very capable of knocking down those shots, so you just weather the storm when they're not going in, and they have to keep the confidence to put it up no matter what's happened in the past result.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would have been your favorite moment from this weekend? You had 3 games. You're playing each day. I imagine there's a little bit of fatigue. There's great shots. There's great defense. What was really kind of your, I liked that?
The obvious is, and the one that's always good, is watching that reaction when the final buzzer goes in the championship. That's the obvious answer. And watching that celebration and the fun that the team had afterwards and stuff. That's the obvious one. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a collective. When I think back, was there a certain play or anything like that? I don't. I just think collectively of the effort throughout those 3 games, and just basically there was times when things weren't going well. The composure never wavered and those kind of things. So it is kind of weird. There isn't other than the post celebration, there isn't one play or one situation that really jumped out when you asked me the question, but the whole totality of the effort on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday was definitely something I'm very proud of.
And I would agree. It's a whole team effort. I could call out any number one of your players and say they had this great game, they did this well, they did this. it's just, it's really hard because they really understand their role and they've risen above to that occasion.
I really appreciate you saying that, because there isn't a player on our team that didn't impact last weekend. And first of all, didn't impact our season, period. Every single one has had it. Accepting roles, roles when your playing time is inconsistent is a role that's really difficult because your practice time isn't consistent. You're expected to practice, the same amount as anybody else and at the same effort. But our team, our individuals really accepted that role, super, super supportive of whoever happens to be on the floor. And when their opportunity comes and the need comes, they step up. So great. That was a great observation. It was a total team effort the whole weekend.
Absolutely. So I do want to bring up, you do have an all-Region 9 team.
Yes.
You also got Coach of the Year, which, how many times is that now?
It's been a couple.
Maybe a few times, maybe 4 at least in a row, right?
I could be in there, yes.
Something like that. In other words, you're kind of a big deal. We get it.
No.
All right, Coach, stop bragging. We get it. You're cool. So we had Adama. We had Andy. And I'm trying to think. I think it was Concepcion. Was it Arancha?
Luna.
Luna. Wait, was
Luna,
there?
and then Hassana. Hassana had a great tournament there. And, I could have kept going down the list. I really thought Sai had a great tournament. I thought maybe she would be, recognized in that. But they kind of cut it off at maximum of 4 per team. Yeah. If there would have been a fifth, I know Sai would have been in there. But, yes, it was Sai, Andy, Adama, and Hassana.
Okay. And so they just...
Luna, sorry.
So tell me this process. So is it just from the tournament that they say, hey, you 4 did great.
Yeah.
We're going to give you this honor.
Yeah, we have the all-region team that is based on the season. And those awards came out about a week ago. And then this, what you're referring to, is the all-tournament team.
Okay.
And it's who... the selection committee, and there's quite a few people involved, usually your scorers table and stats, and those individuals, they select who had the best tournament week, and our 4, there was, I think, 10 total, and we had 4.
Yeah, they did absolutely great. Especially Andy, 26 in the last game. She, went from missing, I think, all but one maybe of her 3-pointers to, I think she was like 4 for 7.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Shooting great, like 40% above roughly from the field. So she definitely had a great game. Adama always with rebounding.
Yes.
I think one game, I can't remember which one it was. There was maybe 8 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, probably.
Somewhere there. She had a total of 9. She's great at just attacking the boards. Love watching Adama. And Hassana, I've mentioned before, I just love watching her. She's great. She's definitely brings a different energy when she gets in the game.
And she's a different type of player. She's got a decent mid-range game there, rebounds really well. And, it's been a little bit of a journey for Hassana, just being able to pick up the core consistency as far as what we want to do offensively and defensively, and then remembering the sets and the assignments and stuff. It's just taken her a little bit to get comfortable with those expectations, and now she's gotten to that point, and she's really impacted our season, the latter part of our season and postseason.
She's definitely getting like 30 minutes a game now.
Yeah.
She's up there where it's I could see that the trust is there now.
And Coach Macy and I always saw the abilities there, but for us it's more than just what can you do as an individual. Everybody's got a role to do with the team aspect, and it wasn't like she was a one-on-one person and just thinking of herself. It just a different style of play that she's used to, and she's acclimated now and doing a great job.
And I just want to bring it up again, but Luna Waita's shot, I just love it when she shoots 3-pointers, because it just and it goes in, and it's just it's so much fun to watch. I love it.
Well, and on top of that, Luna had a great weekend defensively, especially in the championship game. Sierra Eddy for Western Wyoming, I think she's definitely all conference and stuff like that, but I think she had 9 threes. No, that might be wrong. 5, 6, 7 threes on Friday night, and Luna held her 2 for 11 or something like that, which is key.
Yeah.
So Luna not only had a great offensive weekend, she had a great defensive weekend as well.
Like I said, we could talk all day about just how great every one of your players is. It's just so great. And I also made this connection too. So 2 years ago, right, Region 9 tournament was held in Cougar Palace in Western Nebraska.
Yep.
We played Western Wyoming.
Yes, we did.
Granted, that game was a lot closer. I think you ended up winning maybe by 3,
Yeah,
was it?
I believe it was 3. Yes.
I mean, I remember being super close. Everyone's holding their breath in, but I mean, you pulled out. So it was just kind of fun to see a continuation of winning, which we love. That's 4 times in a row.
It is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Winning the Region 9 tournament. So now let's get to what makes this show extra special.
Yeah.
The national tournament coming next week. Actually, we're about a week away from you guys playing. You play the second game of the entire tournament, 12-15. T-Bird fans, it is at the Forward Wyoming Center. Please show up. Last year, amazing turnout. We know it's going to be rough because the school district has got their spring break and it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
But come on, take a lunch break. Just go.
We would love that experience last year was just phenomenal. I stay in touch a little bit with our previous sophomores, and that's their memory. And if you were at sophomore night for last year's freshmen, one of the things is, what is your most memorable moment? At Casper College, I think every one of our sophomores said the national tournament and our fans. So fans, if you can, we would appreciate it. It makes it a great experience, and it has a big impact on the outcome of the game. So we'd love to see as many as there on Tuesday at noon.
Absolutely.
12:15. And
it's guaranteed to be a great game because you're going to play Salt Lake Community College. They're from Region 18, always a tough conference.
Always, yes.
So what can we expect with this matchup for
really
us?
Good team? And teams will look at people will look at their record, and they're 21-10 right now, and they got 10 losses. That's very misleading. They are very deep. They'll play 10 or 11, athletic. Really have some great size inside, so they can attack us offensively in a lot of different ways. From the perimeter with their three-point shooting, attacking the rim with their guards, and then they have great interior play. They're the complete deal. They play well defensively, very well coached. Coach Grayer does a great job with them, and Salt Lake's always had the tradition of being an excellent women's basketball program. So we certainly have our hands full, but what do you expect when you're at the national tournament? There's 160 plus teams in Division I NJCAA, and when you get down to the final 24, you're talking about the top, 15%, 12% of the teams in there. Salt Lake is definitely one of those. Very good basketball team.
And unfortunately, we can't take advantage of being, higher in elevation because, they're high in elevation too, so we can't take advantage of that, but it's all right because they're going to bring their A game, we're going to bring their A game, so it should be an absolutely great game. I'm excited to watch.
It should be. I think player for player, it's going to be, it's going to be a good matchup for both teams. It should be an exciting one for our fans.
I'm a little biased, but I might have to be going for Casper College on this one.
I think I appreciate that. We need as many people feeling that way.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you for coming in. We are super excited. Reminder again, Tuesday, March 25th, 12:15. Forward Wyoming Center, Casper College versus Salt Lake Community College. Please be there, support them. It makes for a great core memory. T-Bird fans, we will see you next time.